Hello, and thank you for joining us. In our last module, we would like to discuss enforcing and renewing your final restraining order. I'd like to thank the team at the Pro Bono Project for helping put these videos together for your use and convenience. In this video, we are going to discuss how to read the order, what is a violation, how do you report that violation, and then finally, how do you renew your order before it expires? So this is the front page of your final restraining order. When you show this to third parties, such as police or the children's school or your work, they're going to look to make sure that there is a file stamp, and they're going to look at the expiration date of the order. What you want to look at is to make sure your name is spelled correctly, your abuser's name, and the protected party's names. On the second page of the order is where we see section number 6 that states what the other party cannot do. In this situation, we see that all of the personal conduct orders have been checked, and the judge has written in that the protected party does not need to speak with, and the abuser cannot contact, even regarding child visitation. In number 7, we see the section that states where the other party cannot be or where they cannot go. So in this order, you see that this person needs to stay 300 yards away. That's 3 football fields away from the protected person and the additional kids, in this situation, protected parties, their house, their job, the vehicle, the school of both the protected party as well as the school of the additional protected people and the children's daycare. This is usually when we can find where a violation has taken place. If the restrained party does anything, including contact, either directly or indirectly by having a third party contact you, or takes any kind of action to find you, or harasses, threatens, disturbs your peace, or stalks you, or any of the things listed here, that's a violation. If this person comes within 300 yards, 3 football fields of any of these places listed in number 7, that's a violation. Another thing that third parties, such as schools and police officers, may look for is the judge's signature, which can be found on page 5. And finally, the last thing they will want to see is after you get the order granted, the clerk's office will file it, and they should give you 3 certified copies with this stamp on them. The stamp symbolizes that this is an original court document. The schools, daycares, your work, and HR, they would want to see this certified document like this. You can make copies of it, but the original is the best. Finally, attached to the back of the restraining order is where we see the current custody and visitation orders here. Here is the custody order. Here is the visitation order. Again, this is times or situations where this order might be violated. If the restrained party tries to commandeer additional visitation, that could be a violation. If the restrained party does not follow all of the distinct orders regarding visitation, that could also be a reportable violation. So it's important that we always keep an extra copy of the restraining order in our car or in our purse, maybe with the building manager, as I said earlier, the children's daycare or school. And that's so those people can help you stay safe. They know that this person is not allowed around by a court order. And if the other party was not at the hearing, I just want to say they may need to be served with the final order. The court will let you know if you need to do that in person or by mail. It will be written on your paperwork. So if the order is violated, should you call the police? Yes. This is how you keep yourself safe. Every violation is a possible misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to a year in jail or up to a $1,000 fine. Always call the police if you believe the restraining order has been violated. And unfortunately, it's true that every violation does not lead to an arrest, but you should still always call your local law enforcement or the San Jose Police Department Family Violence Center, and here's their number, 408-277-3700. If it's an emergency and the restrained party is there, perhaps pounding on your door or standing outside, you can call 911. What do you do if it's not an emergency? So if the restraining order is violated, you want to write down, keep notes about what happened, when, where, who else was there, and how it was violated. Take photos of any injuries or any property damage, and save any call logs or text messages, emails, voicemails, social media posts or messages, anything that relates, that shows the violation of the restraining order. Very, very often it will be via text message or via phone. You are then going to take that information to your local police department. You can do this by either calling the non-emergency line to make a report or go down to the actual police station and bring your notes with you. Now, if there have been violations of the restraining order and your restraining order is going to expire and you feel you would like to renew it, you need to ask the court to renew it. You can't just automatically renew it. But the law does say that if there have been criminal violations, then the restraining order should be renewed for a minimum of 5 years. Now, if there have been violations that didn't rise to the criminal level or were not prosecuted, the judge has discretion to be able to extend your restraining order for either 5 years or permanently. But to have the judge do this, you need to ask the court to renew it and receive a court date for a hearing. There are very few simple forms to fill out to which you attach a copy of the current restraining order. The Restraining Order Self-Help Center at court, all of the community DV resources, the Pro Bono Project, and other legal aid can all assist in answering questions about this process and even possibly assist you throughout the process. But the important thing to remember is that if you want to request to renew your restraining order, it needs to be done before it expires. A best practice is to plan to file paperwork to renew about 3 months before your current order expires. That gives the court enough time to be able to set the appropriate hearing to be able to hear evidence about the renewal. Hopefully, this has shed some light on this process of the domestic violence restraining order. We wish you good luck, and we hope you stay safe. If you have any questions or would like to contact the Pro Bono Project, please do so at probonoproject.org or give us a call at 408-998-5298. Thank you so much.